Welcome back, Endgame community. I'm Pierre, here to help you with some waiver wire options among hitters for Week 5 of the 22 season. So let's get started, and I know what you're going to say, but we got another Angels outfielder, still not named Mike Trout. Sorry, he's unavailable. So we've talked about Taylor Ward early in the season, talked about Joe Adell. Look, Adell is the most talented of the bunch, but he just got sent down to AAA. So here's the thing with Adell getting a little more seasoning in the minors. That means that besides Ward, Brandon Marsh has his job locked down and secure. He's been in the lineup most nights anyways, and he's been hitting well, but he's one of those guys you just never know necessarily going to play more than 5 times in a week. It looks like he's going to get even more at-bats, and that's a good thing. So this is a player who's already got 15 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, a couple home runs. Power's not really his game, but look, this Angels offense is doing really well so far, and the fact that he's going to pile up even more plate appearances means he's going to score runs. He's going to kind of help you a little bit across every category. Run scoring, one of the most underrated parts of the fantasy game because hard to predict, but also it's something that does count just as much, and you kind of can't forget about that. So I say Brandon Marsh is about 50% rostered right now across fantasy leagues. Maybe available, maybe not, but definitely worth exploring if he is out there. All right, I got a similar outfielder also on the West Coast. This time talking about Yaz. That would be Mike Yastrzemski of the Giants. So this is a player who is typically drafted and had been rostered in most leagues, but has been dropped a lot because he got off to a little bit of a slow start, but then he just hasn't played this whole past week because he was on the COVID list. So he just came off that list. He's going to resume being primary outfielder, and he's going to have a spot in the heart of the order for this Giants lineup. Like, this Giants team has not performed like it has last year. Last year, one of the best teams in the majors, including a surprisingly good offense. This year, we haven't seen that, but there's so many injuries. So, Yaz coming back, that helps. Evan Longoria looks like he's on his way back. Brandon Belt was also on the COVID list. He will be back. This offense will finally get back to being what it was, at least close to that. So, again, kind of like with Marsh, this is a guy who is not going to necessarily stand out in one category, but he'll help you across everything, but primarily in runs, because the Giants, an offense that does like to turn over, and they score quite a bit, at least at times. He does have 20-plus homer upside, though, so that's the thing. He will get you power. He'll get you in a full season's worth of at-bats. He'll get about 70-plus RBIs. Not too much for steals, but a guy who's kind of a solid, low-risk outfielder to put out there. So Mike Yastrzemski was dropped, or he's freely available. He's somebody who definitely could help you out as maybe a 4th or 5th outfielder. All right, let's keep the outfielder vibes going. This time, I'll talk about Harrison Bader of the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, let's start with this. 6 steals. Got your attention. Stolen bases, the hardest thing to find out there. Now, Bader's shown some progress at the plate as well. He's cut down his strikeout rate to only 18% this year. He's not going to hit for a lot of average, but he'll get you around 250. And again, being in the good St. Louis offense, which hasn't been good to start the season, but is starting to come around a little bit slowly. Now, I would love if Bader would bat a little bit higher in the order. He's typically going to hit near the bottom of the lineup, but he's still somebody who can help across most categories. So Harrison Bader, if he's out there just for steals alone, would be worth adding. All right, let's say you need some help in the infield. Well, how about a guy who can qualify at every single position? That is Luis Arraez of the Twins. Now, let me just be honest, tell you what you're getting here. It's batting average. Not much else, really, but here's a guy who is a career .312 hitter. That's his career average, already hitting over 300. And here's the thing, kind of that utility guy, but he's been playing on a near everyday basis. Miguel Sano is going to be out for the foreseeable future, a long time, who knows. So that first base job is now Arraez. He's a guy who's a middle infielder. He already qualifies at second base, third base, shortstop, and outfield in most fantasy leagues, and now he's going to get first base eligibility too. Now, I know at first base you typically want at least some power. He will not give you that, right? You're not getting home runs. You're sacrificing the power for the batting average. But batting average, look, league-wide, batting average is down. So it actually is more important than ever to get a guy who can hit over 300. That might really help you. So know what you're getting, a guy who can qualify at almost every position and help you in batting average. So Luis Arraez, worth looking at least just for that. Now you're looking for somebody to stash who might help you in a week or two. Let's look ahead at Kyle Lewis. You might remember him from his Rookie of the Year winning season 2020 That seems like a long time ago. It wasn't, but it does seem that way. He hasn't really been in action lately, hasn't played yet this season, been on the injured list, injured for the late part of last season. So here's the thing with Lewis. Yes, he was Rookie of the Year in 2020, had a nice season, but some of his expected stats looked like he was overachieving on, and sure enough, that line drive rate was solid, but his home run per fly ball rate was elevated. It did come down. He came down to earth next year. So a little bit of a disappointment in 2021, his sophomore season, and then injury. So when you add all that together, a lot of people have just kind of forgotten about him. But he's still a good hitter. This is a guy who's a former first-round pick and a prospect worth watching, no longer a prospect. And let's not forget the fact that he's going to join the Mariners, which should be a good offense. He's going to get playing time. He might not be an everyday starter right away just because now they have all those pieces like Jesse Winker and Suarez that they've added. But watch him get worked back in. He's looking good so far. He just had on a rehab assignment in AAA, went 3 for 5, including a home run. So keep an eye out for him. He's somebody who definitely might want to be stashed on your roster. And then you're looking for a young player who might make an impact. Well, St. Louis just called up prospect Juan Yepez, somebody who absolutely scorched in the Arizona Fall League, someone who wasn't really high on the radar until this offseason, and he was hitting the ball really well, just made his first start for St. Louis, and he went 2 for 3. Now, is he going to get regular playing time? That remains to be seen. Like I kind of talked about this a couple of weeks ago with St. Louis. Paul DeJong just not getting it done, hitting below 200 as usual. And so we thought Nolan Gorman might be the next up. He is definitely a prospect to watch. Well, right now, he's still laboring in the minors. He could get the call at some point, but it looks like they're going with Yepez and the corner infield. He qualifies, or at least he should, at first base and third base. So someone to monitor. He could get at-bats at DH. Someone to watch right now. If you are in a deeper league or a dynasty league, now's the time to move before he starts becoming a known entity. All right, those are my waiver wire picks among hitters for week 5 heading into next week. Take a look at our pitcher video as well. Guys, we're here all off season long. Keep telling you this because we want you to win. That is our end game. All right, thanks for watching.